All right, May 8th, 2022. This is made for YouTube, so I won't be talking about world events and things like that. You can check out my Rumble channel, Reverend Crystal Cox at Rumble, and I'll be doing some over there about the current events of, everything. Uh, don't rush over there today, though, because I'm not doing it today. Anyway, so, oh my goodness, right? The energy. The Schumann resonance is off the charts, never before happened. It's a big, big deal. And then you'll have some people saying, oh, well, this happens every year. But it doesn't. It's completely whited out. It's off the chart. So what does that mean? That means that we are raising the consciousness of Mother Earth. We're doing a darn good job. But on the individual level, light workers and star seeds are feeling really, really down, like unbelievably down. Beckoning death down. Suicidal, yes. Some people, so I belong to a few sites online where I'm going to say thousands and millions of people are feeling it, but I'm seeing only because it's in my feed and my perspective, I'm seeing dozens a day now of people who want to die. There's this heavy energy, this heavy hearted energy, but it's not in the heart. I sometimes feel these waves of heavy hearted, like just, gloom and doom and just, but it's in my solar plexus. What I might have identified before as a heavy heart, but now it's in my solar plexus. And so yeah, we're just going to ramble on here. So, okay, one example last night, someone had said they had tried to commit suicide, and they were asking this group for advice. I do believe that suicide is a personal choice. I have you can Google Reverend Crystal Cox Doctrine of Suicide. It is a personal decision. My body, my choice goes with suicide as well. I also believe that whatever lessons we're trying to avoid if we kill ourselves, that we will have to continue somewhere else. And so it's never really been an option for me. And so when I get to feelings like I want to die, it's not really like like I'm suicidal. It's about a craving and a reset. And in my 20s, when I get it, it was a longing and a craving to go home. And I can see the progression of the people that awaken. On these sites, you see people talking about longing for a home that they can't find. Like they're homesick, they're lonely, but there's people around them and they're, at home. And so it's a weird feeling. Well, that was so desperate for me sometimes in my 20s and 30s that, yeah, I wanted to die because I thought if I died, maybe I could go home. Just this constant, like, I don't belong here. I've landed on the wrong planet. Get me out of here, right? And I have done my healing work, my psychic work, my, victims advocacy, and I've just done a lot to raise the vibration of Mother Earth and her people. And I've mostly done it alone. And I've traveled around alone, and I've, wandered alone. However, in 2016, when I learned about what people call the Mandela effect, so the shift in reality could be literal, I started focusing pretty much 100% on my own programs, my own triggers, and being the best version of me that I could. And the stuff that I dealt with my whole life, and the healing, and all the work I'd done, all the Reiki and the shamanic guides, and you name it. Since I was 16, I knew spiritual stuff. I talked to my guides. I'd studied everything. But I didn't know there was a lot more to go, right? A lot more to go. So when you heal these things, you heal them for the collective, but you also heal them specifically for your lineage. And if you think about our lineage, we have thousands of relatives, right? They're really, I don't know if you can examine this or not, but if you examine your family tree back to the beginning and do all the math, it's too many people. It doesn't add up. I don't know if you've ever been down that rabbit hole. There's so many rabbit holes to go down, and there's so many things that don't seem real. And the way that things are playing out now, I know I'm kind of jumping all over, but just have faith and trust. I can see it clearly. It really is happening. I know that good things are happening. However, I get discouraged. I get a little down feeling at you know, we're trying to reach a level of where I was decades ago in a collective, and that I'm stuck here, right? And I got to ride it out with the humans until the end, until the collective consciousness raises and blah blah blah. And then, spirit reminds me, well, I'm here for the experience. I'm not waiting for anything. We're in new earth energy. I can create anything I want. Well, I'm not creating exactly what I want. So, um it comes down to pick the highest excitement of choices every single day. Which choice feels better? And that leads you to a higher and higher vibration, and things come to you that seem better and better. They're really a higher frequency, higher vibration, different options. You go to different places. Take a different road. If you go to the same place every day, job, whatever, take a different road. I've been doing different things and bringing in new energies and raising my frequency. However, I'm not just open to just, really visiting yet, like going and finding new people. I'm open to letting new things and new people come to me. But this shift that we're in is so volatile. The people, with all of the issues right now, politically and health wise, and they've always been there for me, because I learned this stuff in my early 20s and was like, oh my goodness, right? But now the masses are getting it, and there's nothing to do. The light workers and star seeds, we've really done it all, and we're raising our vibration, and all our job is to do is to keep transmuting. But myself included, and on these sites, all these people are like, they feel like just so sad, so alone, so desperate, and they don't know how to make the feeling go away of nothing matters. I don't matter. What am I going to do now? I don't belong in this system of things. I don't like the way that politics is, or military, or schools, or jobs, and I saw clearly. Um, it is kind of Nisara and the QFS system, but that system is for everything on every level of humanity. And so we're clearing out the old to bring in the new. And so it's not really a waiting, but we are in a transition period where that stuff's not necessarily here yet, maybe in the way that we thought it might manifest. And it is happening, and I can see it, and and I've watched the details of that part for 6 years every day, and it is happening. However, I get discouraged that, well, even when we get there, it's not necessarily where I want to be. And Spirit keeps reminding me to, raise my frequency, and let it come to me, let it come to me. And also that we are a new earth energy, and I really can draw to me more of the reality I want to be living by my focus, by my thoughts, by be in the now, be in the now. So if I'm laying in bed, I just, keep feeling the covers, keep trying to get back into the now. And there's like, sometimes these thoughts come in of, oh, I should have done this that way, or I should have spent money on this, or I should have kept that, or I shouldn't have done this. And you can go back decades, right? And then you worry about the future, and you worry about next week, and you worry about the bills, and this now moment's really hard to obtain sometimes. And so Spirit keeps reminding me to look around the room, touch the blanket, um, you know, let myself have peace. Let myself just watch a movie and just hang out. Um, the light workers and star seeds are pretty isolated right now, even if they have big family around them, because what they're feeling, the people around them can't understand. Because we're really beaming out light. We're bringing in sadness and grief and anger and rage and disappointment, and we're bringing in every emotion across the board and pain for thousands of years. I was going to say decades, but if not thousands of years. And we're transmuting it to light, and we're beaming it back out. And a lot of people are just sleeping. I sleep and I sleep, and I lay there and I meditate, and then I get up and I'm like, well, this world, it's not as vibrant as my dreams. I can't believe my dream state now. I mean, I remember my dreams. I remember where I go. I remember the things I do, and it's so vivid in my dreams. And um, like, it was weird the other day. I was one of my dreams. I was in this like, it was like a tiny house, but it was like a boat too, and I'm on the water, and I'm there with somebody, and we're sleeping, right? And the winds outside are or we're laying in bed or whatever, and the winds outside are just howling, and the waves are so big and crashing on all sides, and they're coming up over the windows, and there was a long thin window, and it burst open. And the person and I was just gonna either cover it up or just go back to sleep, keep waiting it out because there's nothing you can do out there. It's too crazy, and just waking up in the dream at that point, I don't really know if I'm like if I can open the door and then walk to land, or if I'm on a boat. I mean, I'm assuming I'm on water because I can see waves are hitting on all sides, but I didn't in the dream like go to that spot. I just became aware in that spot. And then for some reason, the person I was there with went outside and on the roof to fix the window. It was really weird. And there was a stovepipe up, and then like a broken stovepipe. And then she went on the roof, and then all of a sudden she was hit by a wave, and then her weight and the wave took the roof off, and the roof flew. The ceiling was still there, like, but the main roof of the, and it flung her over and into the water. And she had on some sort of a purple, I don't know, robe, or maybe a purple pajama, or just all in purple. And I opened the door to see, to rescue her or whatever. And she just was still. It was almost like a mannequin. She's just like sinking, but yet floating. And the hand like up and not up and just kind of going down. And I'm reaching in the water, and I'm thinking, well, I got to jump into the water to get her. And I didn't. Then all of a sudden I'm reaching, and then all of a sudden her hand grabs mine, and then just the hand. So the rest of the body, like the legs weren't kicking and swimming. It was just this. And then I brought her back up in, and that's kind of where the dream ended. And I had a lot of thoughts about it later, and I was thinking about, like what I would do next and how I would handle it. And but I have so many dreams every night, and I know so many people, and I wake up in this reality, and I'm not feeling sorry for myself, and this is not gloom and doom. I'm just sharing what's the deal is. So, and I don't really have anything going on. I mean, I have people that I talk to or I might go see, but I feel discontent, and I pray every day. I talk to my programmer, my higher self, my guides, to feel content, to feel at peace. I'm because I should be at peace now, right? Like, I mean, I can do whatever I want right now, and I have a home and I have a beautiful space, but I'm alone, and even when someone's here, it's that lonely feeling. It's not lonely. I'm not really someone who gets lonely, but I'm feeling really alone, and people are feeling that more and more and more. I think it's because maybe they're seeking their tribe or whatever, but the light workers are getting this desperate, and sleeping is a freaking awesome thing to be doing now, because we're doing so much work in our dreams. We're meeting people. We know who they are. They know us by name. I don't always know who I am in the dream. I'm assuming I'm this version of me, but sometimes you get a glimpse of your hand or the mirror or whatever, and it's not really you or this version that that's you. And so when I wake up in this reality, again, this is not to be negative, but it's almost like it's dull. There's nothing here. There's no one here. There's nothing going on. There's nowhere I have to be. There's nothing I have to do. So it's kind of this neutrality. I don't have anybody bitching at me, and I sleep as much as I want. And like I get up in the night in a few hours and do whatever, and then go back to sleep or sleep all day. Or I don't have anybody that's pressuring me to get up or do things. And I know a lot of the light workers, they're finding themselves sleeping a lot, and because spirit's working with them, and dream time is so fun, and they're traveling. And if they were alone and in their world, they wouldn't feel guilty about it. Now I have too, because I've had programs and stuff where I felt guilty. Like, that's one of my big things, is letting myself off the hook, because I'm like constantly pressuring myself to be, and you got to go do, you got to succeed, you got to create, it's a program that's not mine, right? And so if I ask some of these people that I work with on it or give spiritual counseling to, I'm like, well, would you feel bad, would you feel guilty and shameful for sleeping, say, 16 hours a day if there was no one else around? Like, is that really you? Is it a program, or is it someone in your physical life? And a lot of times it's adult children. It could be your parents. It could be your spouse. It could be anybody. It could be just the social construct at large, that I should be doing something. And they'll say to me most every time that, well, no, Like, if someone wasn't bitching at me about it or expecting me to be up and I didn't have anything I needed to do, I would just sleep. And when I wanted to get up, I would get up. And I, and it's very profound to them when they're like, yeah, that's not mine. It's not my stuff. If I'm okay with my life and I'm okay with my cycles of sleeping or what spirit's got me doing, but the other people around me think I'm crazy or it's weird or I sleep too much or I'm lazy. And so, and I've had that happen in my life so many times. And so, my whole life, right? I like to sleep in and process dreams, or I like to nap and process stuff and meditate and nap and travel and astral travel and lucid dream. And people are always questioning and judging, and that's why I've had different family members do that, and I don't stay with them anymore or stay around them because I don't want that. Like, what are you doing? I know she's sleeping again. And, oh, are you okay if you're sleeping? Like, I rented a room in town quite a few years back, and they're like, oh, as long as you're not depressed. Like, if I'm sleeping, I'm depressed. But really, my sleep is my happy place, right? I'm traveling, I'm dreaming, I'm talking to God, I'm getting information from spirit, I'm seeing colors, I'm doing healing work on people, I'm receiving healing work. I'm doing a lot there. But from the outside to the normies, as some people call them, that don't really know, oh yeah, she's just lazy, she's depressed, we gotta fix her, right? And then I get to believing that myself. And so, also, it's like spirit keeps showing me, like, I'm like, well, is there something I'm supposed to do or something like I should do? Like, you get to feeling down, you get to feeling stupid, you get to feel, we'll talk about that another thing. There's always like, it doesn't matter. What if you are stupid? Who cares? But like, I'm like, well, I'm tired. I don't really have the energy to do anything, or all I want to do is sleep. And I don't want to go out, and nothing is inspiring me, and I don't really want to do anything, and I don't know that I can, and there'll never be anything. And you could go down that line forever, right? And spirit always reminds me, because there's that moment where there's something I want to do, and it doesn't matter if I have a bellyache, it doesn't matter if I'm tired, it doesn't matter if I've had good sleep or no sleep. If it's something I really want to do, well, I get up my energy and woo, I'm excited, and I do it, right? And it's probably the same for you too, right? If you really wanted to do it, your body and spirit and your biofield would give you the energy to do it. If you really want to, or you were meant to do it. So obviously it's not something you really want to do. So finding more options in your life of things that you want to do. And so that's kind of what I'm doing now, is I'm raising my frequency, walking. I got, I'm talking to the horses. There's some pigs and some turkeys. I found a walk to, have a little bit of nature from the house, because I live on a main road, and that's not my thing, right? I'm a country girl, right? And then I, lived downtown for a long time, and living on the highway outside of town is just very different for me. And so I didn't walk when I first got here much at all, and I really missed it, because I used to walk around town, I used to walk the beaches, and I used to not have to drive places to walk, which spirit reminded me I'm full of it because I lived in a car. Clearly I was driving somewhere to walk. So it's it's a mind, it's a perception, right? And so for me, I have to keep coming back to center and keep coming back to center, and letting myself ignore depression, ignore anxiety, ignore panic attacks, and just go, just keep doing things different. Going for a walk, doing something to distract it. And I argue with spirit about it. I'm like, well, who cares if I'm distracted from it now? It's just going to come back, or whatever. And spirit's like, well, what we're doing is we're creating, that's funny noise because it's crystal, I guess. Whoa. We're creating new pathways. We're creating new energy pathways every time we do something different. So every time we ignore the depression or ignore the anxiety and go and do something else, and like, oh, pretend it. Sometimes spirit tells me, pretend it's like a migraine or a bellyache or whatever. If you got a feeling in your body and you think it's an emotion and you think you feel down about it and then you get worse, just don't give it a story. Don't treat it more like it's a physical thing than a mental thing. And keep changing my thought and changing my thought. And I like to argue a spirit of like, well, why bother? Nothing matters. Like, there's nothing I want to do. And I'm waiting for the energy to shift before I do something, or I'm waiting for some grand display of something, or it's not how I meant, it's not what I expected life to be at this point. Things didn't happen how I wanted, blah, 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 blah. And so spirit's like, well, just to keep ignoring that and letting the new path form. And some days it's really heavy and it's really hard, and I just want to cry and cry and cry. And my stomach, like my solar plexus, just feels sad, and I just feel down. And other days I go out into the world, I'm realizing that I am in new earth. Things are new, right? The color of things are new. The color of plants are new. The sky is new. People are new. The town that I've been going to for the last 10 years, I mean, this is my 10 year of being here in the Port Townsend area. There's hardly any people. That there's a shift. There's such a profound shift in the plants, the animals, the people. And so to remind myself to just go out and notice it. And so last weekend I went and did my routine that I might have done before I moved into this place. I went and walked around downtown. You know, I did a video downtown. I had a slice of pizza. I went to, and I hung out in a coffee shop that I used to hang out in. Everything's different. The people that the coffee shop was empty. You used to have to fight for seats in there. I feel like there's been some sort of a rapture, right? And I've just like switched realities. It's very profound to me. And so to not get down at like, this is all there is and this is how it's going to be, but to enjoy this. And yesterday on my walk, I try to talk to every tree on the walk. I'm like, this is temporary and I'm not going to be like what I'm experiencing. I'm not always going to experience this same thing. And so enjoy it, be present in it, be in the now. And so I focus on and I teach and write about being in the now, being in the now. Not any assumptions keep you out of the now. Thinking about the past keeps you out of the now. Worried about the future keeps you out of the now. What is the now? And you go, oh, okay, so you're looking at something in the actual now and observing, really looking at things in the room and being in the now. And then letting things come to you in that now moment. Oh, but I got to worry about the bills. I got to worry about this. And the more you worry about not having money, the more you create not having money. So if you're like, I have plenty of money and more coming. Money's coming to me all the time. I am open to receiving money, and I talk to my programmer and higher self, create ways and avenues of programming to be content, to be at peace. I am open to receiving money. More and more money comes to me every day. All of your money affirmations. If you have $1,000 going out in a day and $1 going in, be like, yay, all right, money coming in. Yeah, money's always coming in. Money's always coming in. And don't just keep going over in your head about the worry of not having money, because then all your quantum computer biofield that sees is, here's you no money. So then it brings you more no money. And so it's a stretch to believe that, oh yeah, well, $1 million is going to fall in your lap, or oh yeah, this opportunity is going to come in, or that's going to come out of nowhere. It's kind of hard sometimes for people to believe, even those same people that know they used to live in a world with the yellow sun. Now we live in a world with a white sun. I have thousands of these that people call Mandela effects, that my reality shifted, the location of the heart. There's so many things that I know I shifted reality. So I know I can shift realities. So I know that something can shift immediately and put me in a different version of life, something as big as the sun. So why not, millions of dollars, or the life that you want to be living? And two, Spirit reminds me that I'm collecting data, I'm collecting information, I'm collecting experiences that I will use later, and that we are energetically immortal. Right, we go on. So we collect the things we like. We experience new things to see. And yeah, granted, a lot of the things we may dislike more than we like. But so what? That's like, in the gold in the river, you get the gold out of it, right? We can't find the things we like without bringing in a whole bunch of different things, like food, for example. Before you tried different things, you didn't really know if you liked them or not. And so that's kind of where we're at. And I get to going, oh, well, I'm too old now for this, or too old for that, or too, but no, actually we're youthing, right? And we are eternal, but we're going from a carbon base to a crystalline base, and we are ascending with our bodies this time. And the light workers I'm seeing it more than I've ever seen it before. The people actually being honest and talking about wanting to die, wanting to go home, not being able to understand this energy, not understanding just this intense sadness and grief and loneliness and despair. And I've had it on and off my whole life, but this is different, right? This is a different feeling, and it's like you can't get it to go away. And so I suggest to people, like, what has been working for me is I get constant spiritual counseling from my shamanic guide. I have that every day, and I had that as a rope to save me when my thoughts get too much and I can't see myself out of it. But running helps. Even if you're running in place, but to go out and just run a block or two, just get the energy out. And sometimes it's also our chakras coming online, so we feel like we got something, and we might recognize it as anxiety but really it's our chakras. And so my guides told me, and my shamanic guide, when I went through it heavily last February, to you can't go around it, you got to go through it, and the way to go through it is to sit in it. So just sit in it. No, I don't have to sleep. I listen to an audio book or whatever. Just lay there and just feel it. Don't label it as depression. Don't label it as anxiety. Don't label it as anything. Just let the body feel it and just feel it. Just sit there and feel it without beating yourself up about it, and just lay in it. And that we have to go through now to clean up anything that's left. And just know that right now, we're really purging and cleaning up anything that's not of our highest and best good. And it's important to talk to spirit, talk to your guides, talk to your program, and say, I ask that what happened to me be of my highest and best good. I ask that you have to ask spirit, and ask like the Pleiadians, Sirians, Orions. This is a free will planet. You have to verbalize it. Yes, in your mind works too, but the voice is coded. Saying it out loud. I am this, or I am that. I am wealthy. I am healthy. I am receiving money. Do whatever I am that you can think of. When you say I am, that is powerful magic. Or, myself. That is powerful magic. And so be really careful of what's going on in your mind, and then the people that you're around. And I've said this in many videos. I got pretty much all of the Awakener read, and I got that on a document. I might put that in the description here. We'll see. But that made me completely forget what I was going to say. Anyway, we'll come back to that. So, all right, I'm going to pull you a card. If you're watching this card's for you. It's probably for me as well, and light workers, and just the type of people that would be drawn to my videos. What does that mean? Okay. No, wait. Is it this one? Receptivity. Allow yourself to receive. This will increase your intuition, energy, and ability to give others. And I've been doing that as an affirmation, that I'm open to receiving. I'm open to receiving money. I'm open to receiving money. I'm open to receiving money. I'm open to new. I'm open to new. I'm open to adventure. I'm open to new life. I'm open to new experiences. And sitting in the void, kind of like shaking the Etch-a-Sketch, letting it be just beautiful and abundant and safe, and then letting yourself create new, and without any expectations. And I know what I was going to say earlier, like it's the Awakener, that you can't heal from toxic relationships if you're still in a toxic relationship. So I talk to people like about, my examples in my life's been the mother. And so I visit with a lot of people about the mother energy. It's like, well, they're healing all this trauma and all this anxiety and all this stuff, and from their childhood, but they're around their mother all the time, and the mother hasn't changed. She's still expressing those same things. And so I finally removed my mother from my life, because in every way, I mean, I hadn't been around her much in decades, but I still have some communications with her. But then she'd text me, and then she'd want me to respond right away, and then it caused all this things. It was too much. We won't go into that about my mother specifically, obviously. But if you still have that in your life every day, it's hard to detox from it. It's like if you're drinking a poison every day, you can't detox from it at the same time. And so it's important to speak your mind, and to mean what you say and say what you mean, and remove people from your life it isn't fun. If it's not fun and exciting, and if they're not raising your energy, then remove them. And yeah, you might be alone for a while. You might feel like you're alone, but really what my information tells me is that it's cleaning the energy field to then raise your frequency and draw to you your tribe that you will be happy with. You will have fun and joy, and you'll be so excited about talking about things all the time. You won't have to dumb down. You won't have to pretend you're someone you're not. And so you really have to remove that. And I listened to a Cryon earlier in the car, which I've listened to many, many times, but talking about that we really need to be able to prune. So prune out the dead in our life. So relationships that don't inspire us, habits, addictions, parts of ourselves to be able to prune that. And he was also giving examples of Jesus, of kind of that being a pruning, and the example of the Jesus story of him dying so that people would then read the words or learn more. There's a lot more to that, but that was the example Cryon was giving about pruning things from your life. And so, if you have people in your life all the time that expect you to be doing a certain thing, but you're vibrating higher and you're moving into something else, then you have that constant, let's see, just a big heavy blanket over what it is you want to be next. And so we have to remove those people. And you go, well, great, then I'm just alone and I'm just sitting here. Well, you were alone anyway. It's just that you weren't alone with your true self. Like, you were alone inside wishing that, you could move on. I mean, it's a saying, and I've experienced it many, many times, that it's more alone to feel alone with someone than to be actually alone. And, to feel not understood. And so people have people in their lives that betrayed them, right? They've let them down. They've promised things that really endangered their life, endangered their income, endangered their children, endangered their household. They've made promises and lied to them. They've talked bad about them. They've treated them badly. And these adult children still have their parents in their life, no matter how much, parents or other people, no matter how bad they've treated them or lied to them, because they feel insecure, they feel scared. So they wonder why they're not drawing new friends or new tribes or going out and doing new things. And that's because they still have their parents in their life lording over them, keeping them in that childhood mentality and keeping them constantly guessing and wondering, am I this, am I that, am I this? So they're not able to live their true life when they constantly have that parent in the life. And it's almost a little Stockholm syndrome, because the parent was abusive to them as a child, verbally, maybe emotionally, and as an adult continues to be cruel to them, tell them how stupid they are, treat them cruelly, and they keep them still in their life. And I see that with the kids or the women with their adult children too. And rarely do I meet women who are really actually healthy with their adult children. They'll move to certain towns to be around their adult children. They'll not date someone. I mean, I had someone break up with me once because their son didn't approve of her lifestyle or approve of me. And it's like, the older you get, dating in your 20s, it's different. And if people have kids, they're actually kids. But adult children run these women's lives. And I've met dozens of these women. And so I counsel people on that. But if they still have those people in their life, it's really hard to counsel people on being their best version of self or doing something happier that they might really love to do if they still have that constant input from people who don't believe. It's like, I'm a psychic, and I see things, I know things, I see amazing colors, I travel places, I've known things my whole life. And when I sit down and I try to tell somebody of what I know, I'm like, I don't know for you, but I know for me. And they say, well, I don't really think that's true. And they'll try to talk me out of it, or they'll try to talk negative about it. And I'm not open to that, right? I'm not telling you things that I know as my opinion. Oh, this is my opinion of life. I know these things for me. And I'm encouraging people to know for themselves. But to be wishy-washy, or to constantly let people outside of you have input on who you are and judge you. Because if you think about it, like the napping example, if I like to nap and I enjoy it, and like I said, I'm 52 now. It's been since I was, a teenager. And when I was first, around women when I was an adult, and then different family members as an adult, they constantly put me down for napping. And they see it as lazy. They see it as depression. They see it as, and not just that, I'm doing my spiritual work, or I'm traveling, or I'm creating. Because, yeah, going out and doing something does stuff. Like, I go out and get a job. I go out and do all that. Okay, great. But changing your frequency draws to you the right stuff. That's the happiest, highest vibration stuff. And you get that in your nap time, in your sleeping, in your meditation, in your bed alone in the dark, or not dark. And you raise your frequency and you raise your vibration to let new come to you. When you get up from the nap and you just kind of sit around so you please everybody, and you watch their dumb show and you just go, la, la, la. Because, and what's the difference if you're watching a show, or if you're visiting somebody, or if you're napping, right? Well, some people don't understand the profundity, the profoundness of napping, of sleeping. I travel. I do my prayers. I talk to spirit. I do my affirmations. I do my visualizations. I I do a lot of things in my dreams, and people wouldn't necessarily understand that because they're not doing it. They're not remembering their dreams. They're not spiritually minded people. They're not into creating reality. They're not into the same things. And so when you try to explain who you are to them or try to justify who you are, it just makes you even more and more and more depressed. So first of all, you have to remove these people from your life, which I've done. And then you remove those programs from your mind and your heart, right? Okay, well, I feel like I've done that, and a lot of light workers have done that. But they're still feeling it because the Schumann resonance and everything is off the charts right now, right? And they've removed all the toxic people and all the toxic things from their life, and they're really doing great. But they're like, well, now what? There's nobody here. There's nothing going on. There's nowhere to go. There's nothing I'm supposed to be doing. And then you can maybe feel the excitement of, oh my gosh, nobody needs me to do anything. There's nowhere I have to go. There's nowhere. And you can clean the slate and then start to experience new things. But in the interim, it can be heavy and hard because it's like, well, nothing's really grabbing me. Nothing's really presenting itself. And, and then poor me and stuff like that. And then Spirit's like, well, when something is exciting to you and you really want to do it, you will. And Spirit flashes me on times when I give the example of this bookcase. Like, I can't really lift it. And when it's time to move these, I freaking lift it. When I'm tired and I'm not feeling good, or even if I'm depressed and I'm all like, ugh, and I see something exciting that I want to get somebody online or tell somebody or talk to somebody, I all of a sudden get a bunch of energy. So that clearly, Spirit shows me that clearly tells me that the other things, obviously, I didn't really want to do it. If I didn't really want to do it, it didn't make me feel high and happy to communicate with that person or do that certain thing, or I would have had the energy. Spirit tells me over and over that the energy is the sign. So first of all, your highest, when something feels exciting to you, that's your higher self telling you that's what to do is of your highest and best good. But also, no matter how much you think I don't have the energy, I'm not strong, or I'm depressed, or I'm all these things, when the right thing comes to you, you will want to do it. And you will wake up and you will have the energy to do it. Just boom, bang. Doesn't matter if you've been sleeping 16 hours. You'll wake up and you'll run. You go, but yes, because it's something you actually really want to do. And so it's being able to tell the difference in all these things. Anyway, so let's do a card for you. Whoever you are. It's going to be a bottom card. It'll be this card. Be strong. Sekhmet. I love Goddess Sekhmet. You are stronger than you think you are, and your strength assures a happy outcome. You are stronger than you think you are, and your truth and your strength assures a happy outcome. Sekhmet, Sekhmet. I love Goddess Sekhmet. Google some images of her. All right, let's read some of that one. Okay. See yourself as strong and victorious. Don't complain about anything. Don't blame anyone or any condition. You're the embodiment of strength, not victimhood. As you rise above the old tendencies and see yourself in the new light of beautiful feminine strength, your life will automatically shift in miraculous ways. You'll attract new opportunities, forms of abundance, and relationships to help you manifest your highest potential. And that's exactly the theme of what we're talking about today. Raising your frequency to attract new things in your life that will inspire you to have the energy, the desire, and the drive to do them. Be strong means seeing yourself in the most favorable light you can imagine. Be real. Allow yourself to feel genuine emotions, but most of all, be strong. Be strong for you, about you. What does that mean exactly? Be who you are, and don't let anybody into your life who doesn't agree with who you are. Okay? The only people that you need to go back and forth with and visit about who you are is your minor children. Well, yeah, and this is what mom believes, and this is what, but don't let them talk you out of who you are. Oftentimes we want to appease people around us so much, it creates this dichotomy, and it just makes us want to be die or lay there half dead, because we're in two worlds. A world where we're trying to please everyone around us, and a world where we want to please ourselves, but we don't have the strength. So be strong to be who you really are. Okay. So some various meanings. Okay. Don't underestimate yourself. Don't yield to pressure or temptation. Don't yield to the pressure of anyone around you wanting you to be a different version of you than you know you really want to be, that excites you and actually gives you the energy to want to get out of bed, to want to go and do things. And again, being in bed's not negative. Being out of bed's not negative, okay? It's your feeling and your mindset in either place. Okay, avoid complaining or indulging in negative thinking. Okay, your words are your magic wand. Say it, mean it. And if anyone's talking to you about, change it up. And I don't mean in counseling session. When you're talking to somebody and counseling them and they're talking about what's going on in their life that may seem negative, it's not really negative, okay? You're counseling, you're working through it, you're logically unwinding, you're doing kind of healing work. But when you're around people every day that are saying the same things and, it's not really feeling right to you, you have to remove that input from your life. It's like you're trying to fill up a glass of water and the other person's emptying it constantly. Okay. Engage in weight training exercise to make your body stronger. And we also talked about this in this talk today. Your body, okay, lift weights. When your mind, when you feel like you're down or you feel anxiety, keep lifting weights. So, and that's another thing I've been doing. I'm like, I'm just going to keep going. I went to this local lake. I walked up in the hills and I walked and walked and walked. And then I come back and mowed the yard and I just kept going and going and going until my body had to just relax. And then it would stop my mind chatter. Okay, so move your body, walk, run, weights, sit-ups, push-ups, get that energy through, okay? Join a gym, go swimming, okay? Okay, about goddess Sekhmet. This Egyptian sun goddess is a fiery protector who's married to the Egyptian deity Ptah, P-T-A-H. Her name means strong and mighty. Sekhmet is connected with lions, symbolizing her fiercely protective nature, and sometimes appears with a lion's head and a human woman's body. Call upon Sekhmet to shore up your strength and power. Okay. I call in the power of the living God. I call in all available angels, all available archangels. I call in my higher self and the higher self of anyone who is listening. Anyone that is any higher self that is willing to participate in this energy. All of the energies that are of the highest vibrations, Pleiadians, Sirians, Orions. I call in gods and goddesses of the highest vibration, and I ask a blessing on all of humanity right now experiencing this grief and sadness and this collective fear. And I call on this upon myself, and I vibrate this out to everyone. I call upon myself that I have peace of mind, that I have comfort. I call money and abundance to me right now in every possible way. And to all of you listening. And I invoke the power of the living God for you and for me. And I ask that all of these entities that I've called here today assist me with this. And that the vibration of my voice and my energy is for myself and vibrates in my crystalline structure out into my biofield and everywhere it can possibly reach, and through this video and through the internet lines and the electricity lines and the ether. I raise my frequency and the frequency of all who I can reach, and I ask, Spirit, that you assist me. I ask that you fill me with love and light and abundance, and that you bring me peace of mind and joy. Bring me my tribe. Bring me the people who speak my language. Bring me pure love. Good luck. Raise my frequency, that everything that happens to me is of my highest and best good and so beautiful. And for all, I ask this, of all where my sound and vibration can reach. I ask that Goddess Sekhmet be with us. Be with all those in the sound of my vibration, and be with myself, and be with you who's watching this video. Assist you to be strong. Assist me to be strong. And the most strength that the light workers need right now is to stand in their truth, regardless of who is around them, whether it be a spouse or children or relatives or work. Removing all of the dead wood from your life. And I never mean minor children, of course, to remove from your life. But with minor children, give them the strength, Sekhmet, with minor children and with everybody, to speak their truth, to speak my truth, live my truth, and literally remove people from my life who aren't aligned with me. People might say, oh, it's okay if we disagree. Right now, it's not okay if we disagree on basic, huge, demonic, dark energies happening right now. It is not okay if you don't agree with me on it. Yeah, I'm neutral. I wish you well. But it's not okay if you're in my life and constantly inputting me. And Sekhmet, Goddess Sekhmet, I ask that you give all of us the strength to stand in our truth and to let all of these other people fade away. The pruning, and to believe and know that we can manifest money, that we can bring to ourselves perfect homes, perfect abundance, perfect heating and cooling, perfect food, perfect love, and high vibration. And I ask this blessing on all within the sound of my voice. And I'm going to blow out these candles on camera, and I'm going to do that to send this all out. Send all that we've asked here today. I invoke the power of the living God to bring us peace, to fill my heart with love and joy, to take away the feeling of my solar plexus that feels like I am dying of grief and sadness, to fill my solar plexus and all within the sound of my voice of love and light. Unconditional love fills my heart and pours out into my biofield and into my Taurus and whips up this energy and shoots out to all. And I send this unconditional light to your heart right now and out into your Taurus field. And I invoke the power of the living God to heal us, heal our heart, bring us joy, and bring us peace of mind, and bring us contentment. Free us from debt slavery. Free us from a society that wishes to oppress us. I ask these things in Jesus' name, in the name of love, and in my name as a citizen of this realm. Amen. As we blow out these candles, we send this energy out through the flame. We also call in and invoke the violet flame to all of you and to myself to remove any negativity, to remove any old energy, and to bring in the new. And I release all of this out to the highest and best. I love you. God bless you. Goddess bless you. Talk to your spirit guides. Talk to your angels. Talk to your higher self. Call out to your programmer. Cry out what you want. Speak it loudly. Speak it true. I love you. Amen.